Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Steph's Manifesting Lounge. I'm Stephanie Kakaris and we're up to episode 3. Every Thursday I film a live coaching session with a beautiful volunteer that has put their hand up to come and be coached by me and see if we can manifest something really special for them. So thank you for being here, Julie, and putting your manifestations into the public eye and allowing me help you and show everyone what I do. And I know that from these sessions that other people are going to get a lot of healing from the healing that we do together in these sessions. Yeah. So thank you for joining
us. Thank you for having me.
So we're up to episode 3 and I'm really excited because I really want you to have a house that you can relax in and be comfortable in and be all paid off and all lovely. So
that would be amazing.
Yeah. So tell me about your journey towards having a home in terms of, do you want to tell a little bit of a story about how you've been looking around and you've been trying to just really discover where you want to live?
Yes, we moved to Warwick on the Southern Darling Downs 8 years ago, and we said to each other, we'll just go for 2 years and see if we like it, and if we do then we'll buy a property. So 8 years in, my mum's moved here, my sister and brother-in-law have moved here, and then I was thinking, do we want to stay here forever? And this summer I went down to Brisbane and the Gold Coast a few times, and I made this really strong decision, no, I can't live on the other side of the mountains. So I'm happy to call Warwick home now indefinitely. And I think it was after I made that decision that I felt confident that I could then do some manifesting around a property.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now.
Yeah, because you were thinking about possibly moving to some other different areas, but since going to visit them and staying there recently, the climate just doesn't suit you.
In summer.
The energy around it.
No, not at all. In Warwick, yes, we do get hot during the day, but our evenings are generally still between 12 and 18 degrees right through summer. So I really need to have that cooler night and not use aircon. So I'm really happy to call Warwick home now.
Cool. And so what kind of property would you like?
Look, we're on 1/3 of an acre where we are, and I don't feel hemmed in by neighbours, and I seriously could not go back to having a neighbour 2 metres away from me. So we have to have land, and a minimum 1/3 of an acre, but preferably 1/2 an acre to an acre.
Yep. So let's put aside any logic for now in terms of what's possible and all that kind of stuff and what's probable and all that. Let's just look at, if I could wave a magic wand and you could have any kind of property that you wanted, let's dream about that to start with, and then we'll be open to all possibilities of attracting that. So how much land would you like?
I'm going to say a minimum of 1/2 an acre.
Yep. But you don't want more than an acre?
No, I don't think so. Because then you have to look after it.
Correct.
And I won't be doing the looking after, and Frank's getting on, if I could say that.
Yeah.
Well, we're not getting any younger, let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. So between 1/2 an acre to an acre?
Yes.
Yep. And what kind of garden would you like? Let's start with the garden, because I know you love flowers.
I do love flowers. There will be loads of roses.
Yep.
I think we have 36 roses here. So there has to be roses. There has to be fruit trees. I think we've got about 15 fruit trees here. And we've got like 2 limes. We've got 2 oranges, 3 oranges, no, 2 limes, 2 oranges, 2 mandarins, a lemon. We've got mulberry, fig, 2 figs, loquat. So we've got a lot of fruit trees.
Yeah.
So
What's
we
your
like
favourite fruit?
Oh gosh, it would have to be out of our garden. It would have to be the figs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fresh figs straight off the tree are pretty special.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
And veggie beds, spot for a nice veggie garden.
Yes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 veggie gardens. So yes.
Yep.
We will have lots of veggie gardens. Sometimes we have 40 or 50 veggies in the garden going at the same time.
Beautiful. That's so cool.
So yeah, have to have veggies.
And I'm getting an image of like a hedge down your boundaries with some nice tall trees for sort of screening and private, not too big and dense, but
yes. And what my sister's done, because they're on 2.5 acres, they've got fences that are covered in vines that flower. And
beautiful.
It's a lot of different vines, so there's some sort of flower throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I really like that, and that's down both sides of their property.
Yeah.
So fences that have hedge vines on them with flowers would be amazing, because flowers are what make me happy.
Yes. So good. So I'm just typing the main sort of points as we speak so that I can send this to you for your manifesting list. So in terms of the home itself, you've told me that you'd love to have a separate dwelling or a separate area within the dwelling so that you can have people come and stay and you can run your retreats. So I didn't mention at the beginning that you're a medical intuitive and that you have people come and you run retreats to help them to heal.
Yes. So that would be really amazing if on that one block of land we could have where Frank and I live, and then separate accommodation for where we could have like 4 or 5 people come and stay. Yes. Yep.
So would you be open to that being in under the same roof, but perhaps in a different section of the house, or ideally would you like a completely separate place for them to stay?
Look, at the moment we're doing it under the one roof, and that works fine.
Yeah.
So I'm not strict about it being separate, but what I do know is when people have their own space away from our space, they can unwind and do what they need to do as well.
Yeah.
So I think if it's my dream, I would prefer to have it separate.
In an ideal world.
In an ideal world, I would like that to be separate.
Yeah. Cool. So what would that separate accommodation look like?
I think it needs to have 5 bedrooms and probably 2 bathrooms, so they can be shared bathrooms, and a common area with when I say common area, like a lounge area, and not a full-on kitchen, but just with a fridge and a bench and
kitchenette.
Kitchenette, yeah.
Yep.
A sink and kettle and stuff like that, because they won't need to cook their own food.
Yep.
So we'll provide the food in the main area.
Mm-hmm. And like
I actually see it like, do you know what? It probably only needs 4 bedrooms, and I could do like a twin in one room and 3 queen in another.
Yep.
And I can see it as a line where there's the 2 bedrooms,
Yep.
And between the two bedrooms is the bathroom.
Yep.
And then in the centre is the common area with the kitchenette and a bit of a lounge.
Yep.
And so it's just one long building.
Yep.
That then can get connected to the house. Maybe with a path and a
walkway.
A cover.
Yep.
A walkway, yeah.
Yep.
So sort of like a motel, kind of, you know, how they have that long, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And so tell me what's important to you in your own home.
I need to have an office.
Yep.
A separate office. I would like 3 bedrooms.
In addition to the office?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, we wouldn't need that if we have those other bedrooms.
No, you wouldn't.
No, so in my house, I really only need our bedroom and an office.
But would you like to have a spare bedroom?
No, because whoever comes to visit can stay out there.
Yep. So you'd love it to be nice and cozy, your house, just with one spare bedroom. No, you don't even want a spare bedroom. You just want your main bedroom and then the office space.
Yep.
Okay.
And a lounge and a kitchen and so we'd need a big kitchen.
Yep.
And in the kitchen we would want it so that the cooking station, you could stand in front of it, not that it's back against a wall. Right. Because Frank wants to do cooking classes.
Yep.
So if he's on one side of the bench with the stove, then people can stand on this side and see what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So we would want it like that.
Yep.
And we need lots of cupboards to put all of his kitchen stuff in.
Yep.
And I would like pull-out drawers for plates and cups and saucepans.
Yep.
I think that we need a walk-in pantry, and I would love a walk-in pantry that you can shut the door.
Yep.
And
like they call it a butler's pantry.
Yes, I would really like a butler's pantry with the tea and coffee stuff in there so that the benches can be really clean in the kitchen.
Yeah, and a lot of them have a sink in there these days as well, in that little.
They do, yes.
Like an extra little room off the side of the thing with a sink and plenty of storage space, and you can put your microwave and coffee machine and kettle in there.
That's it. Yep, that's it.
Yep.
And in the lounge room, I would like one of those lounges that are like a U shape.
Yep.
And there's lots of space to sit and very comfy, so we can watch TV if we want to, or just sit around and chat if we want to. Mm-hmm. There has to be a fireplace, a real fireplace.
Yep.
And I don't mind if it's one of those Klondikes, but I want a really good fire. And I think I need to have aircon.
You need aircon.
I need aircon.
Yeah. And central heating as well?
Oh, you know what? I don't care about central heating.
Okay.
Because I quite like going up to a cold bedroom.
Yep.
And I don't like my face to be warm when I sleep. Mm-hmm. So I quite like shutting the bedrooms off and having that cold. Mm-hmm. And what else?
Lots of natural light.
Yes, I don't mind glass all the way across.
Yep. And
then being able to pull the curtains across.
And do you like an outdoor area?
Yes.
Outdoor living area?
I do like an outdoor living area.
Yep.
Yes. With the light in the roof so that it lets lots of natural light in.
Yep.
And I like a big outdoor area.
Yep.
Like And I like lots of plants. I like pot plants. So we would have lots of pot plants in the outdoor area. And I like cottage garden. I didn't say that before. Cottage garden flowers.
Yep.
And herbs. We have, I don't know, maybe 20 herbs here. So I'd like lots of herbs. I really like some big trees as well, because the birds come and I love the birds.
Yep. When you were, oh, let's just finish this first. So anything else you can think of? Your office would need a window that looks out onto the garden.
It does, yes.
But if you've only got your bedroom and the office, it would, all the rooms would have lovely windows that look out.
Yep.
So just in general, it's nice to always ask for a low maintenance house, home in really good condition. Do you care if it's brick or weatherboard?
No, I don't.
Yep. And well insulated.
Yes.
And just a beautiful, cozy and comfortable feel.
Yes.
Now, in terms of Frank's big kitchen, would given that he wants to do some demonstrations and classes and stuff, could that be in the other house?
It could. It could.
But he would like to cook in it every day, though, with you and him, wouldn't he? Nice big.
He loves the kitchen. So yeah. I'm quite happy for people to sleep somewhere else and come into his kitchen.
Yeah.
Because that's part of Frank's personality.
Yeah. Okay.
To have people in his kitchen. So
cool.
Well, not in his kitchen, on the other side of the bench of his kitchen.
Yeah.
But I think that we would need a big dining area with a 12-seater table and chairs, or 10-seater table and chairs.
Yep.
And that's why I like a big lounge room with lots of chairs, so that whatever we do, we can do in that lounge room.
Have the space for it.
So it would be really nice if the kitchen was able to be closed off from the lounge room.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So tell me about what kind of a home did you live in when you were a child? Did your parents own their own home?
Yeah, it was 4-bedroom, lounge room, dining and kitchen and laundry. So just a rectangle.
And did you just live in the one home, like while you were growing up? Did you move around at all, or?
We moved around a lot till I was 8. The year I turned 8, Mum and Dad bought their house, and I stayed living in that house until I left home at 19.
Yeah. So they bought the house that you lived in when you were 8, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And do you remember the feeling when you were 8? Do you remember first moving into that home?
Not especially, no.
And did your parents rent, like when you were moving around, and then that was the first home that they'd purchased?
They had purchased other property, but that was the first one they purchased after I was born.
Right. And do you get a sense that you felt happy that you were in a home where you weren't going to be moving around anymore? Or it didn't really?
Yes, I think. it didn't really register with me, no.
So it wasn't really a big thing. Oh my God, this is finally our house and we're not going to have to move anymore.
No.
You don't remember your parents saying that to you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the equation, do you remember, were your parents feeling, did you ever have a sense that they were feeling burdened by having a mortgage or either extra responsibility that was where you were in your own home, paying for bills or maintenance for a house or anything like that?
Never. Mum managed the money really well, and we always had a 5-week holiday every year. So we had a really good childhood. We never felt like there was never enough money. And I don't know whether that was the truth, but we never felt like there wasn't. Never enough. Mum, we always had treats, but it didn't go overboard. We always got something every Friday when she did the shopping, and we always got pocket money, and we went on holidays. So it was, Mum did a really good job with that.
Yeah. Awesome. So it doesn't sound like there's any resistance from your childhood days around owning your own home, because a lot of people have, you know, they could tell that their parents were stressed about paying the mortgage, or, you know, and that they bring that into their adulthood.
No, Mum, we never had any inkling that there was any stress around money, but there was, because Mum tells me that now.
Yes.
But we never were privy to that.
Yep. And is it possible that you could sense it energetically even though you didn't know? Or not really, because everything seemed totally fine?
We had an incredible childhood.
Yeah.
Where we went out every weekend. We ate really well. There was always food in the fridge. There was always an abundance. My dad had a veggie garden, so he fed us from the garden. We had lots of fruit trees. So in that respect, we've duplicated my childhood with the property that we are on at the moment. And I can see that my brother and sister do the same with their properties, except they've bought their properties. I think for us, renting has given us it's given me a sense of freedom, that if I want to do something, I can up and move and not be confined by owning a property. This house we're living in now, we've been here 8 years. Outside that childhood home where I lived for 11 years, this is the longest property I've lived in my whole life.
So why wouldn't you just stay there? Because it seems like it ticks nearly all the boxes.
I'd be happy to stay here. What motivates me is to be able to run our retreats without having to be relying on someone else for accommodation. For our clients. But we can stay here. Like, there's no reason why we can't stay here. But it would be nice to know that we're in our own property, we own it, we don't have to pay rent, and we can live our days out here in a property that we own. So that's probably my motivating, so that we can live on our property and make money from our property. Because the older we get, the more we have to look at ways that are not going to tax us, but provide us with an income, because we don't have superannuation. So we have to look at it from earning an income perspective as we age. And I know, have to be sensible about that.
For sure. So I'm thinking, as I look at the clock and it's 11:11, that I might just get you to close your eyes and we might go on a tour of your new property. So I want you to imagine yourself. Well, let's just take a couple of deep breaths first, and we'll just. All right, so when you're ready, I want you to imagine yourself standing outside the front gate. And just tell me what kind of front fence do you see? Or is there a front fence?
There is a front fence, and it's just a mesh fence.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a garden bed across the front.
Yep.
That's cottagey, and there's vines across the front with flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Purple flowers.
Beautiful. And then is there any lawn in the front
Yes.
yard
Yep.
before you get to the house?
Yep, there's a pathway from the front gate to the house, and there's garden beds along the side of that, and there's lawn.
Beautiful.
To the fences on the sides.
Yep. So describe the front of the house to me.
The front of the house is white. It has a veranda across the front. It's actually a flat house, and it's paved across the front, and there's big windows across the front, and there's big pots, the big terracotta pots with plants in, and there's 2 benches, one on either side of the front door, basically underneath the windows. And there's no flowers on the plants. They're just green.
Mm-hmm.
And
is there a seat on the front veranda?
Yeah, there's two benches.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. That's what you mean by benches. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. So you're going inside?
Yep. And there's a long corridor, and it's quite wide. And it's got timber floors, and there's how you can have in a corridor the narrow like hall stand.
Yes. Yep.
So there's a narrow hall stand, and it has beautiful vase of flowers. It's got some drawers with paperwork in the drawers, so it's a place where we keep the mail and anything important.
Mm-hmm.
There's crystals, there's some vases, little ornaments, and then above that there is one of my paintings hanging on the wall.
Beautiful.
And the walls are white. I love white walls.
Yep.
And there's 2 doors off, one on either side. So it's actually quite a deep house.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the office and the bedroom is off that hallway. And
Yep.
So my office is actually quite large, as large as a bedroom.
Yeah.
So it could be used as a bedroom if need be.
Mm-hmm.
And then we keep going down the hall, and then there's a really big kitchen to the left. So we go through a door into the kitchen, and it's a big kitchen, and it's like it overlooks a family room on that side of the hallway, and then on that side of the hallway there's another lounge room that's separate, and that's where I can run my retreats and things in that room. So it's like it's split in half.
Mm-hmm.
There's rooms on that side and the kitchen and big dining room actually off the kitchen. So it's got the big table and there's a fireplace in there and there's a fireplace in there. So we have 2 fireplaces.
Beautiful.
And off the bedroom on the left, there's a ensuite, and then off the back of the big room on this side, there's a bathroom and toilet. So there's a separate bathroom and toilet. And then you go out the back.
Cool.
So it's like
long and deep.
Long and deep with a big wide corridor down the middle.
Yep.
With doors, but those doors can open and everything can be connected.
Yep. I can hear the parrots chirping with joy in your garden there.
They are.
So keep walking through, going out the back door, the nice big deck.
There is.
Covered
deck. And it's timber. Yep.
With a lounge and a outdoor lounge and an outdoor table.
Yep.
Barbecue.
And it's got all my succulent pot plants all organised in a corner. There's hanging baskets with ferns.
Beautiful. Yep.
And we've got those plastic roller blinds that come down so that we can keep it warm in winter because we get lots of frosts here. And the back deck is actually as wide as the entire house and it just goes back. So it's actually quite a large outdoor entertainment area.
Yep. And is there a fireplace in the back deck or a pot-belly stove or something?
Pot-belly stove, yes.
Cool. And then does the deck have steps leading down out to the back?
Yeah, just a couple.
Yep. So keep walking back into the back area.
Yep. That's really interesting. It's not long. It's actually got little pods so there's 3 pods. There's 2 bedrooms with a bathroom and toilet between on that side and 2 bedrooms with a bathroom and toilet. And then the back one is with the kitchenette and the lounge, like the free area.
Yep.
So it's actually got a proper stove in there as well. So we could actually rent that out as B&B.
Yep.
And those people wouldn't need to come into the house.
Yep. So are those rooms, those pods connected to the back, to the kitchen and dining area, or there's a walkway?
There's walkways.
Yep.
Yep. So inside the bedrooms, there's I think that's how I see it.
Those parrots are going nuts.
They are.
I love it.
So they're like mirroring the shape of the house, and it's like between the back deck and the pods, it's like this amazing courtyard that's got sandstone, and it's kind of very Italian looking, like Tuscany.
Mm-hmm.
The gardens look amazing, and it's actually a really nice space to go and sit and relax. It's very healing.
Beautiful. And a fountain?
There's not a fountain, but there is a bird bath. Yeah, bird bath. Yeah. And there's like climbing roses and things like that. So the bedrooms have like a little deck, and that little deck continues to join to the back area, the common area. So they are kind of connected, but it's a breezeway.
Yep.
And so there's climbing roses and wisteria on the decks. Beautiful. Climbing up the posts and across the top.
Yeah, so they're like little cabins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks amazing.
How do you feel?
And there's lots of sunlight. Yeah, I feel really good.
Excited?
It looks amazing. Yes. I'm most excited about the courtyard.
Yeah.
Because that was unexpected.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the garden is amazing. So we need lots of water tanks to keep the garden going.
Yep.
So the water tanks can sit behind the buildings, the long rectangle ones.
And where would all the veggies and the fruit trees go?
So they would be back behind the common area.
Okay. Yep.
So I can see like we're on a long block.
Yep.
And so in between the veggie gardens, there's that crack of dust so that it crunches under your feet, and the beds are raised. And I can see like 8 garden beds, raised garden beds. And there's crack of dust between them, and then lining around the garden beds is all the fruit trees.
So is this property in Warwick?
It feels like it can be, yes.
Yep. Cool.
And it feels like it's actually on a slope. So it's not a high slope, but it's a bit of a slope. So that feels good, and we can see the hills.
Does it slope down the back of the block a little bit, or?
I'm thinking, yeah, it does.
Yep. Okay. And from the back veranda then, you'd have a view.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
It would be very cool. It's probably on the outskirts of Warwick.
Yeah. And the blocks beside you might be a bit larger so that the homes are, there's plenty of room between your house and their houses.
Yeah.
It's all right, I can do it. You're right.
Yeah.
Do you get a sense that you've built this property or that it was already pretty much like that?
I get a sense that we've built it.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly how we want it.
But are you open to the possibility that it exists somewhere already?
Totally.
The parrots think so.
It's funny.
Yeah. Or that something similar might exist that you just need to modify a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get the sense that the house has been an old house that's been done up, or quite newish, the main house?
It could be done up. It feels new though.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there a spirit guide or an archangel that's with you right now looking through the house with you?
I didn't feel anyone.
I didn't until now.
But I feel really like giddy light. So maybe Archangel Michael. I get the feeling that we've got a gardener.
Beautiful. What's happening now?
So I was thinking about the shared bathrooms and they're being rearranged so that every bedroom has an ensuite. And that in the courtyard, in the centre of the courtyard, is a big tree so that it gets shade.
Mm-hmm.
And the bedrooms have a lot of light. So I'm really feeling that they don't smell musty or they don't have that not lived in feeling. So I feel like they're used a lot. And I'm hearing people saying things like how amazing it is to step into this little piece of paradise and feel so rejuvenated and regenerated and loved. And they say that it's really healing. So I'm hearing those voices, but I'm not seeing any people. The fire is amazing. So we have one open fire and another is one of the convex. It's like we've created a little piece of paradise. Frank grows the veggies in the back garden and teaches people how to cook with them, so that it's like garden to plate.
Yep. And the people coming to stay could do some garden therapy as well if they wanted to.
Mm. I can actually feel that it's better if it's 1 acre.
Yep.
It's actually a great business.
So can you get a sense of Archangel Michael still there? Or
I
doesn't have to be him,
wasn't.
or just
No, I wasn't.
some kind of a guide?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So it's more, I'm just in the house now.
Yeah. No, because I was just gonna get you to ask them. Maybe you could just ask your higher self, where's the money going to come from to purchase the property?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And just see if you get any insight. You might not. Doesn't matter. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
I think it's going to be revealed as we go forward.
Yep. Yep. So you don't need to know the how just now. You're connected with what you want.
Yep.
And the money will show up as it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
I feel like I'm floating away from it now.
Yep. So are you floating above it? Can you float above it and look down on it?
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is I want you to float above it so that it becomes really small.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to fold it up like a piece of paper into a tiny little speck or a tiny little thing that's about a centimetre big. And I want you to put it in your heart.
Okay. Yep.
Just put your hand on your heart and just say, and so it is.
And so it is.
Take a deep breath. That was cool.
We're done. That was very cool.
Very, very cool.
Oh, and it was really interesting that I just started to float away.
Yeah, you were done. We were done.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's all you needed, and yeah, it was. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. But my eyelids were going like this.
Were they?
Yeah.
As you started to flow away, or
no, during
the
some
whole
parts
thing?
of the process. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's interesting because I recognise that from hypnosis.
Right.
So, or doing past life regressions or stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the energy moving.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there we go. So that was actually a surprise.
What was the surprise?
Well, what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, you haven't gone into that much detail.
No.
Yeah. Cool.
So thank you.
You're very welcome.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I know. So just to explain to the people watching, people will say, oh yeah, but that's all very well to imagine what we want, but if we don't know how we're going to find the money to get it, then what's the point of all that? And I think it's really important when we're playing with the law of attraction and with manifesting what we want, we need to be really clear about what we want and to let the universe look after how it's going to happen. Because what happens is people let the fact that they can't see how it's going to happen stop them from envisioning what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So the other day I was talking to a client of mine, and she wanted to go to a retreat from Dr. Joe Dispenza. She's been reading some of his stuff. And she's got a couple of overseas trips planned this year. And I said to her, what do you want to manifest this year? Would you like to go to one of Dr. Dispenza's retreats? And she said, oh, I've looked into that, and no, I can't see how I can make it work because he's going to be there when I'm here and he's going to be there when I'm there. And I said, I didn't ask you about logistically if you think it's going to happen. I asked you, do you want to go to the retreat? I said, that's just a yes or no answer required. And she goes, well, yes, I would like to. I said, well, that's all I asked. So she actually said no because she'd thought about all the logistics of where she's going to be and where he's going to be, and she couldn't see how it was going to work. So she said no.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, all you need to say is, yes, I would like to. And imagine yourself there, and then see what might change in her plans or might change in his plans all of a sudden that allows her to then, they're both in the same city at the same time.
Yeah.
And logically you can say, okay, it's highly unlikely, whatever, but who knows? Just let
Stranger things have happened.
Totally. So many strange things have happened. So my task for you is to go on a Saturday or a Sunday drive around Warwick, have a look at some properties, go to a few open for inspections, and just read it.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually draw the diagram of what I saw in my journal so that I've got a picture of it.
Beautiful. You could paint it.
Yeah. I could paint
cool.
It would. Yeah.
Yeah, you could paint. I can imagine that Tuscan courtyard.
It's beautiful. Do you know that tufty grass between the pavers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sandstone pavers.
Sandstone pavers and sandstone outdoor setting, and really beautiful, and a big tree where it's shady.
Yep.
So, no, it's beautiful.
Awesome. Well, I'm so
So
glad
thank
that I
you.
could connect you to that. That was very cool.
Yes, thank
And
you.
I look forward to having you on again in a number of months when you can show us
Well, it
around.
starts happening. That would be amazing. Yes,
So good.
it would.
And you
Yes.
can tell us
Yes.
about how that fell into place, and then that fell into place, and then that, and then that, and then that, and here you are.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
brilliant.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you. I'll see you again soon.
Bye.